Hello everyone, this is Amber Colbert from East Alabama Board of Realtors, and I'd like to welcome you to this Matrix tutorial. Today we're going to take a look at the process of farming in your REALIST Tax platform. Now if you are visiting us from another association or MLS, the system in today's tutorial may differ slightly from your home system, but the functionality will be the same. Now we'll begin this process by entering the MLS and navigating to the Public Records tab. And this will take us directly into our REALIST Tax platform. If you haven't used REALIST before, you will accept those terms of usage and continue to the platform. Now once we get here, we'll see a dashboard with all sorts of stats and information, and review that if it's something you're interested in, but for today's purposes we're going to navigate straight to the search tab. Now we're going to change our county, so we'll click change county on the top left, and you see that we actually have tax and sales data for 4 states: Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. In today's example we're going to choose Alabama, and we're going to choose Lee County. We're going to clear all of our other selections and click apply. Now this will give us an exclusive search just for Lee County, Alabama. Once we've set those parameters, now if you want to search for a specific property, you can do that by address, or you can do that by putting in, for example, a street name and beginning a search. But if you want to search, say, an entire subdivision, we'll clear the form, move to the My Search table, and here you'll see that you have a lot more search options. You can search by beds and baths, zip code, buildings, square feet, etc., etc. For today's example, we're going to search for a subdivision. So let's click Select from List. And I'm going to type in a partial name here so I can get all possible matches. Now my market knowledge tells me that this is the subdivision I need, and these are the faces that I need. This, Sandalwood Farms, is a different subdivision, so we're not going to worry about that one. Now once we've made our selections, we're going to click Apply. And this will take us back to the search table where we can make additional selections, or we can go ahead and run our search by clicking Search. Now that we're here, we have a few different ways to view our results. We can view them as a list in sort of this card format or in a linear format. We can view the entire subdivision on a map, and you see we've got some rogue searches over here, and that's okay. I'll show you how to eliminate those here in just a sec. Zoom in on our subdivision. You can see we've got all this going on in here. Now one reason you would zoom in on the map is to see that one of these properties is currently listed. So we're not going to want to farm that one. We'll just take note of that one, 2307. And we can also look at it as a split view. We can also look and see each property and where it corresponds on the map. Now let's return to our list view. As we go through and choose which properties we want to farm, we are going to make sure all properties are selected, of course. Now this one that's currently listed, there's no need to farm that one. It's already listed by another agent. So we're just going to take that one off. And we can also scroll through this list and find anything that, for example, is owned by a city or a government entity, or something else that might be owned by a bank that's in foreclosure. These properties could potentially be just building lots that don't have any residents on them, so we could take those off, etc., etc. So as we go through and decide what we actually want to farm, we can deselect the ones we don't need, and once that process is complete, we'll move on to the labels section of our system. So click on labels, and you can choose a mailing label size. I think the most common one is Avery 5160. You'll have the choice to choose your letter case. So you could do all caps or you can do mixed case. I like to use all caps just in case there's some obscure name or abbreviated name in there. You can also choose what address to send it to based on tax records. Do you want to send it to the property address? Or do you want to send it to the tax billing address just in case the house is occupied by a tenant and not an owner? We can also go down here and add things to our labels, like we may want to show the current owner's name or create a custom label where we type in additional information. And as we go down, we can see how many of these farming exports are going to be in this particular export. Now, as you can see, you're allowed 5,000 per month, which is a pretty good, considering how much postage is these days, that's a pretty good amount. Now, this export is going to be 106. And once the month starts over again, this will reset and you can do different farming next month. But once we're completed with this, we can click create and it creates a downloadable file. So up here in your downloads, click on that file and you'll see that a Word document has opened up in the form of those labels. Now, you can go ahead and print this, you can save it and print it later, or if you want to save time on farming this neighborhood multiple times, you can go ahead and just save this on your device and come back to it later, maybe send one mail out a month, etc., etc. So it doesn't take up your export limits within that system. And that's pretty much it. That is a very easy way to farm through the REALIST Tax platform. And again, you can go in and change anything that you want. See, if you wanted to start over again, you could clear your county selections, go back to Alabama. We can go back to, let's try Russell County, apply, navigate back to that search table, put in a new subdivision. We got sort of a delay here, but I think you get the point, and then you can just search that new subdivision. And again, you've got 4 states in there that you can choose from, plenty of farming opportunities, and pretty simple, guys. If you have any questions about this though, you can contact us at East Alabama Board Realtors, or if you would like a private tutorial on farming and other realist functionality for your team or your office, contact us here. Phone number is 334-297-1740, or you can email anyone in our team and we can get that on the schedule for you. Thank you.